On February 10th, 2022, our beloved Kiana Marie Juan Cizik Arellano. Kiana Arellano went to heaven. She was 23 years old. So Kiana Arellano, that's the picture you see here. Kiana Arellano, the harassment. In Colorado, you cannot harass people in Colorado. What happened with Kiana Arellano is that she got cyberbullied. And what a waste of a promising future. And she looks absolutely fucking miserable. She died in 2022. She died this year, February 10th, 2 days after my 40th birthday. 23 years of age. It gives us great peace to know her pain and suffering are gone forever. She lived a beautiful life with grace and courage, and we are honored to be her family. She leaves behind an amazing legacy with many friends, family, and supporters. She taught us all how to be compassionate and to never give up. Kiana Arellano was born to Kenneth and Christina Arellano on September 9th, 1998 in Denver, Colorado. Kiana graduated from Rock Canyon High School in 2016 and went on to complete the Douglas County Bridge program in May 2020. She then later started a program at High Point Services just this year. Kiana lived her entire life with her parents, sister Caitlin, and brother Taylor in Littleton Highlands Ranch, Colorado. Kiana was a smart, fun-loving girl with an incredible sense of humor. In 2013, she started struggling with anxiety and depression, and on May 19th, 2013, she attempted to end her life. She suffered a severe anoxic brain injury, which changed the course of her life. She spent years relearning how to communicate and navigate her new normal. So let's go back. We'll come back to this in a second. Let's talk about the harassment law. So you're not allowed to harass people in Colorado. CRS 189111. 189111. Harassment. Kiana Arellano's law. Number 1, a person commits harassment if with the intent to harass, annoy, or alarm another person. You're not allowed to harass. You can't annoy. You can't even annoy another person or alarm another person. Annoy, I can understand that's a little borderline, but yeah, you can't harass people. You can't alarm people. You're not even allowed to worry. You can't even worry livestock. So I feel like scratch out annoy and put worry. Don't alarm, don't worry, don't harass. Okay, but there's like a bunch of things here. So number 1, a person commits harassment if, with intent to harass, annoy, or alarm another person, he or she A, strikes, shoves, kicks, or otherwise touches a person or subjects him to physical contact. That's not assault. Apparently in Colorado, that's not assault. If I strike you, shove you, or kick you, well, that's just harassment, right? That's just strikes, shoves, or kicks is just harassment. Motherfucker, that's assault, okay? B, in a public place, directs obscene language or makes an obscene gesture to or at another person. Fuck you, motherfucking bitches, you fucking bitch, motherfucking bitches. I feel like we got free speech. I get to say, hey, fuck you and fuck what you're doing and fuck everything you're about and fuck what you did to that one fucking person, you fucking piece of shit. And then I get to have a sign that says, fuck you, and then just sit there silently. But that's it. That's it. I can't just sit there and, basically get in your head and follow you around and stalk you and what the fuck ever. You have freedom of speech. You should probably work on, petitioning or doing something else and really, file some charges. I don't know if that's the point of getting, follows a person in or about a public place. So stalking, following somebody, I guess maybe in a public place, in a store, in the town center, in the store in a town center, just driving around their damn house. Repeal DE, directly or indirectly initiates communication with the person or directs language towards another person anonymously or otherwise by telephone network, data, network, text, message, instant message, computer network, computer system, or other interactive electronic medium in a manner intended to harass or threaten bodily injury or property damage, or makes any comment, request, suggestion, or proposal by telephone, computer network, computer system, or other interactive electronic medium that is obscene, or F, makes a telephone call or causes a telephone to ring repeatedly, whether or not a conversation ensues with no purpose of legitimate conversation, or G, makes repeated communications at inconvenient hours that invade the privacy of another and interfere in the use and enjoyment of another's home or private residence or other private property, or H, repeatedly insults, taunts, challenges, or makes communications in offensively coarse language to another in a manner likely to provoke a violent or disorderly response. Interesting. Repeatedly insults or taunts, challenges, or makes communications in offensively coarse language to another in a manner likely to provoke a violent or disorderly response. Yeah, that's what those piece of shit motherfuckers are doing in Costilla County. Robert Pickerel and motherfucking Kevin and Troy Zinn, Kenny Capon, at least those three motherfuckers, and then Roberto fucking Bernini and who the fuck else, repeatedly insults, taunts, challenges, or makes communications in offensively coarse language to another in a manner likely. So that fuck you, bitch, you dumb bitch, you piece of shit, bitch. You can't do that. You can't do that. I feel like you could say, tell a person how you feel about them once. You don't have to repeat it over and over again. But, just going by and saying, bitch, 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 punch. But, Your Honor, I didn't do nothing. He just hit me for no reason. I didn't do nothing and he did everything, Your Honor. 1.5 as used in this section. We'll get back to the legal definition in a second. I was trying to figure out, how did she kill herself? Because she really fucked herself up. Kiana Arellano, she was 14 years old, Colorado. She gets text messages. Some of them said, nobody likes you at school. Two of them one said, nobody likes you at school and you're pathetic. No one likes you. So she internalized, that like nobody else, right? Nobody likes me? Huh. Am I pathetic? Does nobody like me? And took that to heart and then said, you know what? What does it matter? Tried to kill herself. And then, fucked herself up. She's going to die 9 years later. So I guess in a way she was successful with the suicide attempt. She survived, but she suffered a severe brain injury. Something about the lack of oxygen. Did she try to hang herself? Lack of oxygen. Did she try to suffocate herself in the garage with the, vehicle on? Did she try to hang herself? Because basically she almost killed herself and she had to communicate just by eye gazing. Just by looking at people over here, over there. And I wonder if, Stephen Hawking, if they gave her, that he was able to talk, right? So I wonder if she could actually, at school, she was verbally attacked. Her tormentors suggested that she kill herself, and she tried. That was back in 2013, and then 2015 is when they're going to pass Kiana's law. Kiana's law is... the harassment law was already on the books, but they strengthened the cyberbullying part. You're pathetic. No one likes you. No one likes you at school. It said that there's vulgar language too. So she was in a wheelchair. She could barely, it's heartbreaking actually to see how, if I was the parent, I'd be so freaking pissed. The mother, Christy, speaks against cyberbullying. Last year convinces the Colorado legislature to pass Kiana's law. Not last year, but 2015, so this had been 2014. It increases the penalties for cyberbullying as Kiana was struggling to survive in the ICU. Her family discovered vicious anonymous texts that Kiana had received. She survived, but her life was forever altered. She had a severe brain injury, wheelchair bound, was only able to communicate through eye gazing. She was 14. Her father had found her in time, kept her alive until paramedics arrived. She's lucky to be alive. At the time, there was no law against cyberbullying, but they never found out who was behind those evil texts telling her to kill herself. Basically, the law protected the perpetrator. So, yeah, I'd be, God damn, you motherfuckers. You motherfuckers. I sent her to public school just so one of you sons of bitches. What the fuck? You know, I could understand, like, being in public education and who knows how her home life was, but if she's got a, crappy home life and a crappy school life, that's her entire goddamn life. Her entire life is either home or school, and if both of them are crappy, then, these motherfuckers just pushed her over the edge. They pushed her over the edge. And I am curious about how she did it, just curiosity. So, let's see. We were reading the obituary. Let's go back to the obituary and then finish out with the law. Kiana was determined to help others. She made many trips to the Colorado State Capitol to share her story. In 2015, Colorado State legislators approved House Bill 1072. It was named Kiana Arellano's Law. In addition, Kiana's friends and family helped to raise thousands of dollars in support of suicide prevention. Kiana leaves an impressive legacy that will live on for many years to come and will help countless individuals. Kiana's love of life and adventure continued throughout her life. Her love of cheerleading and performing was accomplished through her cheer teams at her high school and at peak athletics. She won many medals, but one of her most cherished memories was competing with the Peak Athletic Stars team in Orlando, Florida, where her team won recognition as international champions. She shared that accomplishment with her sister Caitlin, and they enjoyed being back on the mat together. Kiana loved to travel and was able to make it to Myrtle Beach. It was made possible when her sister nominated her for a wish through Make-A-Wish Foundation. The family was blessed and honored to spend that time with her, and every time she heard the ocean, she broke out into the biggest smile. Kiana also enjoyed spending time with her family at the family cabin in Grand Lake and was going to Easter Seals Camp in Empire, Colorado. She loved spending time with her best friend and sister, Caitlin, and her friends Emily Miller, Hannah Brown, Brady Thomas, and Amber Riccardi, along with her wonderful nurses. They shared many fun times together at dances and other events. Kiana is survived by her parents, Kenneth, Christina, as well as her sister Caitlin, her brother Taylor, her beloved dogs Gucci and Maverick. She's also survived by her grandmother Dorothy, Wanzik, aunts and uncles Francisca, Arguello, Deborah, Frank Vega, Sandra, Don Wilson, Ross, Tammy, Arellano Jr., John, Nancy, Arellano, and David Nita Wanzik, as well as numerous cousins, extended family, and friends. She's preceded in death by her grandparents Robert, Ross, and Elfrida. In lieu of flowers, the family is requesting donations to support Children's Hospital Colorado at childrenshospital.com. She received care there for 9 years for her brain injury. Hospital personnel, doctors, nurses supported the family. And that's, damn, she died. I didn't know she had died this year. Kiana Marie Wanzik Arellano. Kiana. Freaking Kiana died. Kiana died. They motherfucking bullied her until she fucking hung herself or tried to snuff herself out in the car with a garage. Papa comes home after, an hour of just dangling her being in the garage, so she's basically dead anyways. 1% of her fucking brain is still alive. 1% of her fucking brain. And, as a parent, I could understand why they would want her to be alive and not dead, but I just wonder, what freaking hell, to try to kill yourself and then to make your life, infinitely fucking worse. Infinitely fucking worse. But it shows you how fragile, teenagers are when you're young, when you're in public school, when you got a crappy, house, home life, and a crappy school life. You're pathetic. You're pathetic, and nobody at school likes you. And public education is fascist as fuck. You got the totalitarian dictator, and the only saving grace of public education is that you elect the school board. most of the times you can elect the school board who, in turns hires the superintendent, and then it becomes hierarchical. So the foundation is democracy, but it's hierarchical. And so you're the student and you walk into public education, and, some people have parents that encourage them, and the, students know exactly who they are. Other ones are kind of just a blank slate waiting for the teachers in the school system to make the best of whatever they can. And then for her to internalize that she's pathetic, I mean, she's not just doing cheerleading, but I'm sure she's making, A's, B's, and C's in school. She's doing the damn work, right? Maybe not the best, the shining, not the smartest or the, most obedient in school, but, doing it good enough. But I bet you how many other people feels like they're pathetic, and how many other people in school feels, as though nobody liked them either. Just felt so alienating, I guess. Karl Marx talked about alienation. And Kiana, for this reason or that reason, without pointing any fingers except for the motherfuckers bullying her. Anybody that was bullying her, fuck them. A fascist bullying piece of shit. Do as somebody else says because of what? Because they were jealous of her? Did they like her? Was it some fucking guy that had a crush and sent that to her, and that's what you had, a crush, and you did, that's what you made her fucking do? God damn, man. .5 is used in this section unless the context otherwise requires. Obscene means a patently offensive description of ultimate sexual acts or solicitations to commit ultimate sexual acts, whether or not said ultimate sexual acts are normal or perverted acts or simulated, including masturbation, cunnilingus, fellatio, analingus, or excretory functions. 2a. A person who violates subsection 1a or 1c of this section, or violates any provision of subsection 1 of this section, with the intent to intimidate, harass, or harass another person in whole or in part because of that person's actual or perceived race, color, religion, ancestry, national origin, physical or mental disability as defined in section 18.9.121.5a, or sexual orientation as defined in section 18.9.121.5b, commits a class 1 misdemeanor. B, a person who violates subsection 1e, f, g, or h of this section commits a class 2 misdemeanor. A person who violates subsection 1b of this section commits a petty offense. Any act prohibited by paragraph E of subsection 1 of this section may be deemed to have occurred or to have been committed at the place at which the telephone call, electronic mail, or other electronic communication was either made or received. 4, 5, 6. Repealed. 7. Paragraph E of subsection 1 of this section shall be known and may be cited as Kiana Arellano's law. This section is not intended to infringe upon any right guaranteed to any person by the First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, or to prevent the expression of any religious, political, or philosophical views. Good law, 18.9.111. I think that this law is good because assault in Colorado means you have to actually cause bodily injury. If there's no bodily injury, then it's possible that it's technically not legally assault. It's harassment if you attack, kick, shove, or strike a person at the very least, right? At the very least, it's harassment. So we got Kiana to thank for that. 18.9.111. Kiana told us you can't strike, shove, or kick. You can't, do all these. You can't communicate with people in a harassing way. You can't harass people. You cannot harass people. It says annoy. Annoy is different. I think you can't worry people. You can't alarm people. You can't harass people. Annoy people. You can annoy people for a little bit, but then you got to go away. You got to buzz the fuck off. So no, you can't annoy people either. You can't harass, annoy, or alarm another person. Or follow them. You can't stalk them. You can't flip them off and then call them a bunch of cuss words, over and over again. I feel like you got one time to be like, hey, fuck you, you piece of shit. But if you continue to do it, that's harassment. Harassment is the repetition. It's the routine. It's the bullying that happens day in and day out. It's the, every time I walk past That fucking building, when I walk to school, so I have to walk the long way to school. And then, harassing, whether it's just speech saying, fuck you, you piece of shit, or, getting online and telling another person to go fuck themselves or calling them. So it just basically says don't harass people. And we have the internet, this postmodern era, so you can't harass people, old-fashioned, old-school style, or new school style. Don't harass people, motherfuckers. Don't insult, don't taunt, don't challenge. Don't, say obscene shit. Don't harass people, motherfucker. Don't be racist or sexist or physical or mental disability. Don't be homophobic. Don't be homophobic. Don't be transphobic. And, Arellano, I feel like Arellano makes it to Kiana's Law. Kiana's Law is better. It's quick and to the point, and Kiana is very specific. Kiana. So, R.I.P. Kiana. R.I.P. Kiana. This picture here, she's in a wheelchair and she's, kind of smiling, trying to make the best of it. But, she could have cured cancer, could have climbed Mount Everest. Maybe not been anything huge, but maybe been a good mother. Maybe been a person that didn't go around harassing others. I bet you Kiana wouldn't have killed Tecumseh. I bet you Kiana would have remembered Tecumseh's name. And she'd be against, if people want to drive around her house and kill, I would be opposed to shit like that. You can't harass her. Quit harassing Kiana. You can't do drive-by shootings at Kiana. You can't do little stop and goes like you're going to do more drive-bys and kill more of her dogs. You can't just keep doing that shit. You can't do it over and over again. You can't do it dozens and dozens of times. You can't, that's harassment. And it's fucking bullshit. I guess the one big criticism I'll say about this is that it's a misdemeanor. It's a misdemeanor. So, if the person had been caught, I'd like to know who the fuck sent them goddamn text. Who the fuck sent them fucking text to Kiana? Kiana didn't deserve those texts, and she didn't deserve to feel that way. What the fuck? Are you fucking kidding me? 14? So, there's a little bit of background about Kiana's Law.